Hey guys, I want to give you a little insight on the X3 here. I just got it about a month ago, and I put about probably 150 miles on it. And before having the X3, I had a Polaris Razor, and they're two they're two machines that do everything amazingly, but they're totally two different machines. If that makes any sense, it they handle the same stuff the same way. It's just you have to get used to it. Like on a Razor, when you're flying down the road and you just want to hit the ditch, you're never afraid of it because that car feels like it's a lot bigger. It feels like it's higher off the ground. Where in an X3, you're you're sitting down. What I tell people is the Razor is more like driving a school bus, straight up and down, steering wheel in front of you. This is more driving like a sports car or a stock car. You sit down into the car, you can spread your legs. I mean, I'm 6'1", 250 pounds, and when I sit in this, I can push the seat all the way back and be straight legged. That being said, it feels like you're lower to the ground, so you have to tell yourself every time, hey, there's 24 inches of suspension travel, more than a Razor. You can jump off that road into the ditch and you will be fine. You just have to continuously tell yourself that until you get used to it. Same way about in the woods. When you're in a Razor, you're so straight up and down, it feels like you're on the front tires. So you can fly through the woods and look right there and know what's coming up, know how close the trees are. Where in this, you really got to learn where your tires are. Another thing that I noticed in this, that I feel a lot more stuck to the ground, that I can take a corner a lot faster because the X3, even though it's not, it feels longer, it feels wider, it feels a lot lower, more center of gravity. It's not. The Razor damn near is the same size. It's just the way the seat sits. Power wise, I had a thousand turbo. This is a thousand turbo. This has a little bit more top end. You can run down the road 90, 95 miles an hour, where the Razor was about 5, 10 miles an hour slower. Do you notice it? No. The Razor was a little bit harder hit at the bottom end in the woods. Is it a big comparison difference? No. What I'm trying to say is if you're leaning one way or the other, you are not going to go wrong buying any one of these things. Would I go back to a Razor? Probably not, because I like the cockpit so much in this. It's just a more comfortable feeling for what I ride. I'm more, we'll get on the gravel roads and we'll jump from bar to bar. We're gonna go up north and do long trails in this. The wearing a Razor's more track playing. I'm getting a little bit older to where I want comfortability before the performance. And when I say performance, the Razor has always been a little bit better than everything else when it comes to suspension, really. Um, I went with the smaller model, which means I went for the narrower model, not the 72-inch wide, just because up north they do have posts in the road that if you are 72 inches, you're not going to get past the posts, so therefore you're not going to be going on the trail. So I went for the smaller model. Now, if you have a lifestyle to where you don't have to worry about stuff like that, it doesn't matter how wide you are, I would have definitely went for the wider model. They look a little bit neater. They have bigger tires. They're cooler looking, and you have more stability. They're safer. Mods, probably the three biggest mods on this that I would get. Number one, spend the money, get a 4-point harness seat or seat belts. There you can get the ones I have in here. Armor, Pro Armor, or something like that, and that they're $40 to $60. You don't have to go out and spend 200 bucks. I've sat in cars with $200 seat belts. There's not much difference. Really, the big difference is they get a little bit wider strap. Me being a big guy, it would be nice to have a wider strap, but a $60 pair is very comfortable. It's a hell of a lot better than a seatbelt, and it's much, much safer. So that would be my first buy. My second buy on this would probably be the center console. I use the center console on this to hold my iPad in the center. I run the GPS. Mainly I use like the Polaris Go app, just because when I'm offline I can still download maps. Just make sure when you get if you don't have an iPad, make sure if you do buy an iPad to run GPS that it's a GPS model. Most Androids have already GPS, but you just got to make sure when you get an iPad that you get the GPS model. And how you know is on the top, when you're holding it, there's a black strip on top. It's just where the GPS is. So third, I would probably get a roof or doors. I'd probably go roof, especially in Iowa during the summer when the heat's bearing down. I would go a roof. A radio's a big one. I put a radio on this. Bumpers is a nice one. I still want to get a winch and stuff because during the winter I want to plow snow. The nice thing is about having an iPad in here in this center console, all of us have GoPros. A lot of us do, especially if you're watching YouTube, you're into it. I actually will mount my GoPro in the back of the car during the winter, and I will use it as a reverse camera when I'm plowing snow. And it'll be right on my iPad when I'm driving. But let me show you. This is 4 bolts to put in. You can see right now that it's streaming the audio or the video that I'm tape recording right now. So you put this in the car, it's 4 bolts. You have something for storage there, but your iPad will fit in right in there. This is a waterproof mount case that I put it in. So I run my iTunes from it and everything. So I have music to listen to. I can watch my videos that I'm, like if I'm recording on here, I can watch the videos in the woods and stuff. I can't really think, there's nothing really bad that I can say about the X3. There's nothing bad I can say about the RZR. If you're leaning one way or the other, like I said, just do it. Just go which way you're feeling. You're not going to go wrong. You're not going to be unhappy with either models. So, but I've had this for about a month, 150 miles on it. Haven't had one single problem, one issue. Hopefully I don't. I will definitely tell you when I do end up having an issue, but I run it pretty hard. I'm not the greatest driver in the world, so there's stuff that I definitely slow down for. But a little about the place I'm in. I'm in around Maquoketa, Iowa. This is a 300-acre farm that one of my buddies own. I've had the privilege and the honor to be able to ride this pretty much whenever I want. Other than deer season, he would kick my ass if I rode in here during deer season, but really any time of the other year, he rents it out, so I have to be careful with the cattle and stuff. And they do block it off, so what they do is they'll let them graze in one half and then they'll block off the other half. So at any given time, I'm only usually allowed to go on half of it at a time. I just usually keep the gates. I'm lazy and just keep the gates shut. But so I get about 300 acres to play around on. In Iowa, there's not a lot of places to ride. I do plan on going up north to Wisconsin and stuff. The nice thing about our county here in Iowa, they've opened it up to where we can ride down the roads. We can go downtown, we can go to the grocery store in them, we can go to anywhere. Just can't go down a highway or a state highway. So we can cross them, but we can't go down them. So pretty much anywhere else, gravel roads, any roads in town, stuff like that. A lot of people, I mean, it's kind of neat when you go in the town and you see a bunch of side-by-sides just going through. And they should have done it a long time ago. Hopefully nobody gets in too much trouble and ruins it for us. But this farm is probably 5-10 miles away from my mother's house, where I took the side-by-side off the trailer. I drove here. So it's really nice to be able to be out here and do that kind of stuff, and hopefully it keeps going. So definitely want to thank the DNR and everybody that put that together for us here in Jackson County. So, but if you guys have any questions, leave me a comment. I'll answer anything. I don't care how stupid it is. I mean, I'll play around with you. So if you want to ask me what I ate for breakfast today, you go right ahead. So, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll plan on making more videos. Thanks.